Hello, hello, Taurus. Welcome to your August 2019 overview reading. This is good for you if you're a sun, moon, or rising Taurus. And before we get into it, go ahead and take a moment to subscribe if you haven't already and if you care to. And then don't forget to check me out on Instagram at Onyx Healing if you like card readings and would like some more content and all sorts of good stuff. And also check out my podcast. The link is in the description box below. So I am going to lay these cards out, lay the spread out, and then we will dive in. While I do this, maybe take a moment to set your intention for what you'd like to get out of this reading. Take a couple deep breaths into the diaphragm, and then we will get into it. Okay, so let's start with a truth bomb for you this month. You are fucking glorious. All right, so this is just a reminder of your own power, your own abilities, your own gifts, and all of the magic that goes along with that. So this is about confidence and really owning your personal power and your worth. And then we also have Moth. So whenever I see animals that really highlight metamorphosis, one of the things that comes to mind is just allowing this to be a transition period. Not setting up expectations for like getting to a specific destination in the month of August is really going to serve you. You don't want to push it too hard when you see something that's just about a transition. Know that whatever it is that you're pursuing takes time to grow, it takes time to develop, so don't be hard on yourself if you're not at a destination. And then we have resources. The time has come to look outside yourself. Trust that all you need to make it possible is on its way to you. Lay the bricks that will create the path to your destination. Okay, so it's about laying the brick. It's not about getting to the destination yet. And I think that's what you want to keep in mind. Now, if you exclusively focus on destinations, you're already going to run into issues. Because if you're only focused on, oh, I need to get to that place, you're never going to be satisfied. So it's a delicate balance in between having goals and also enjoying the present moment however you can. Not everything is going to grow and develop at the same time, so just honor what it is that is working and then continue to work on what isn't working. The central energy for you this month is the Wheel of Fortune. Let me pull the crossing energy before I read this. Two of Pentacles. So there might be some perfectionism coming up for some of you. Anytime the Two of Pentacles, it kind of indicates a stalled out energy based on wavering between options or decisions. It's okay to be in this place sometimes, but remember that if you're using contemplation as a way to avoid taking action, that's when you're going to run into issues as well. So just understand where you're at. Are you trying to problem solve or figure things out as a way to delay yourself, as a way to avoid just taking action and seeing what sticks? Or is it something where you're still in the discovery phase? Because this month is going to, it's going to set you up to progress in a lot of ways if you are taking action and you're getting really clear within yourself and you're just honoring your growth. Or this could also be something based on the Wheel of Fortune where things stall out. If you're too locked up in perfectionism or a gridlock or not taking action or not, if you're just not doing, that's not going to create any momentum or growth. So it's up to you. The Wheel of Fortune is reflecting pace. If you want things to move quickly, take quick action. If you want things to move slowly, stay in contemplation or stay stagnant. Because it really is up to you. I know that there are some things that are more complicated than others, but remember there's always a choice to take action. And so if you can get behind that, you're going to see things grow much, much faster. This is what's leaving your life in August. The Six of Swords, once again, we have this transition period. I think that this is probably has to do with your perspective around transition. Like I said, transitions never really stop. There's certain destinations that you get to along the way, but if you're exclusively focusing on what you don't have, you're going to be in for a world of hurt, because there's always more to have, there's always more to gain, there's always that next goal. And so I'm just getting for you that this is about the ongoing trust in what you're doing, and then also tempering your desire for something better. It's not that that's not achievable. It's about just understanding that things take time to grow and being okay with your own metamorphosis. The oncoming energy is the Seven of Chalices. So this is an abundance of options, having lots of different directions to go, lots of different things that you could choose from. The more action you take, the more options you're going to have. And remember, for some of you, that's going to be a good thing. For others of you, you might hate having options. So the way to get around this and navigate this energy once it comes up is to figure out what feels like expansion to you. What is it within your body that feels really good to kind of move into? Or is it causing contraction? If you feel contraction, that's not expansive, that's the opposite. That's also indicating that something's out of alignment with you. If you feel that expansive feeling, then you know you're on the right track as far as you feeling and stepping into your best self. Now, this is what you're wanting or your goal for the month. We have the Knight of Chalices, so it looks to me like you're wanting more buoyancy around emotions and just being at an even pace or an even keel. Maybe this has to do with acceptance, because the Knight of Chalices in this deck, it looks like chaotic emotions, right? So I'm getting for you, this is a desire for things to be smooth and steady and just buttery for yourself. So you can definitely get there. I think this has to do with Mercury retrograde that we had last month. It probably has to do with Cancer season that we had last month. And so that makes sense why you would be experiencing more of the intense emotional state. And I think there will be a come down from that. Things will even out a little bit more and be more mellow, to say the least. So that's something that you're really after. And it looks like contentment is also a big goal of yours as well, or something that you're desiring externally. And so that all starts with your personal acceptance. You're not going to easily access contentment or being really satiated with whatever it is that you have going on if you're only looking at what you don't have. Okay, now let's see what's going on in the subconscious. We have the King of Wands. I'm going to clarify this. Seed of Winter, so this is the Ace of Swords. More Mars energy down there. I think you're probably going to be... okay, well, here we go. So this is Leo season, right? And the King of Wands represents Leo. And it's that internal fire, that heartfelt expansion and energy that you have when you're really, really in the groove of whatever it is you desire. So I think you have a lot of ideas of what that looks like and what that could be for you. It's just about acting on it. Okay, so it looks like you're really going to be heart-centered internally. And then this is advice for you. We have the Eight of Wands. Know that you're moving a lot faster than you realize. That's a big part of what I'm getting here, because if you're frustrated with things not moving as fast as you want, I'm getting that it's a perception thing. I think a lot of it has to do with relative to how long you've been working on something, or how long you've been in the game, or what effort you have been giving or what behaviors may have been stalling things out. But I think overall, you've probably made a lot more progress than you might give yourself credit for. So try to take that into consideration. Now, this is external influences. We have the 10 of Swords. Don't worry, I'll clarify this just to get a little bit more context on what exactly this is trying to tell you. So to clarify the 10 of Swords, we have 3 of Spring. So this to me looks like maybe the old plans or the old, like the old objective is probably changing. The 3 of Wands in this deck, the 3 of Spring, is really about looking out in the distance at what it is you want to build, what it is that you want to create. You have your plan, you have your idea, you're ready to execute, you're ready to plan, to build. Now, the 10 of Swords is like the destruction card, right? It's in part of releasing whatever it is that isn't working. And this could also be like divine intervention, because this is an external influences card, where it, like, maybe something gets cut off before it grows fully, and that's serving you. So you always want to keep that in mind. If you don't get that job, if that partner or that potential partner rejects you, if you don't sign that contract, if you didn't get that house, you have to remember that that's probably for your highest good. Either it wasn't fully in alignment with you, it wasn't good for you in some capacity, or that simply wasn't going to deliver what you ultimately wanted. So the more faith you can put in that, the better off you're going to be. Just try to believe that it's not a punishment when things don't work your way. It's something that's really setting you up for success moving forward. It's the only way you're going to be able to stay buoyant around anything that isn't moving perfectly the way you want it to. And then hopes and fears, we have the 3 of Chalices. Call on your friends for help. So whatever it is, maybe you're having an easier time this month. Maybe you feel really good and in alignment with where you're moving and how things are progressing for you. Then it's like, this is a good time to celebrate. I think it's safe for you to enjoy yourself. And then for those of you that are experiencing more of the fear side of things, this is actually showing up as a card that's indicating a tool for whatever your hopes or fears might be. Connection is going to be an important piece of the puzzle when it comes to either accelerating your hopes or combating your fears. And then the outcome of August, we have the Moon. I think it has something to do with this 10 of Swords right here. Like if one thing kind of gets shaken up a little bit, then it might have you feeling like you're navigating without knowing exactly how things are going to play out or exactly how things are going to manifest. You also have the Wheel of Fortune in the center. So you have to understand there's going to be some changes. There's going to be a little bit of a shakeup in August. And the more that you just understand that this is for you, it's all in service of you, the easier the Moon is going to be. You don't want to fight the current of the Moon or kick and thrash and scream. You don't want to take that approach anytime you have the Moon in the Wheel of Fortune. You want to stay on top of your emotions and just allow whatever it is that needs to come to the surface, and be willing to see a new path or a new direction, or to get more clarity about where you're heading. Let's get into the timeline for second, third, and fourth quarter. So the first quarter of August, we have the 10 of Cups. So things are, it looks to me like things are a lot better at the beginning of the month, or a lot clearer, coming out of that Mercury retrograde and coming out of that really emotional season. You kind of start things off feeling really clear and aligned. So let's see what comes up next. Second quarter, we have Temperance. This is about balance, equilibrium, just going with the flow for yourself. And I think this has to do with appreciating what you have. So I'm getting a lot of gratitude here. That's kind of what keeps you a little bit more balanced and even keel for yourself, so that you can do whatever work you need to do, or maybe this is more of a playtime for you, a little bit more of enjoyment and relaxing this month. That could also be kind of your MO, whatever it is you have going on. So I'm getting that there's a lot of just gratitude sitting in this first half of August. Third quarter, we have justice. Man, okay, staying balanced is the name of the game for you overall. And I'm getting that leading with gratitude is kind of the secret to that, rather than getting too caught up in what am I building, where am I going, what am I doing, you know, because that can be, it can just be frustrating. Like, you're not going to be able to plan out every single detail. You're just simply not going to be able to do it. So that's where I think if you can kind of just float through things, it's going to serve you a lot better. And then wrapping up the month, we have the Devil. So this is where I'm getting, maybe you start off really good and then things start to get a little bit more complicated, as you might have like old habits resurface, or maybe you get derailed for a little bit, or you see like a roadblock and you're not sure, like, oh, does this mean that I need to change direction, or do I need to lean into the fear or the resistance or whatever it is that's coming up. So I'm getting that there's just this is kind of like a test for what do you want, what are you actually going for, how in alignment are you feeling, like how is that working for you. And it's just about asking the hard questions, like how bad do you want it, how much do you really want to have that experience or make that project happen. And so sometimes obstacles help us work out the bugs or see different parts of ourselves that we need to heal. And I'm getting that that's also kind of going to make you shift the way you're approaching things and doing things as well. Kind of like where you have the moon. I'm getting that it's like you're good, you're good, you're good, and then there's a little hiccup or a tweak or a pivot that needs to happen by the end of the month. Okay, so let's do a 3-card pick. You're welcome to ask a question, ask for guidance, ask for clarity, whatever it is that you need. Card number 1, we have the Queen of Pentacles, Divine Feminine. Your ability to create whatever it is that you desire in this lifetime is really getting highlighted. Like, you're a powerful creator, and the Queen of Pentacles wants to remind you of that fact. So don't toss any of your desires out. This is the time to pursue them. And then at card number 2, we have the Page of Swords. It's okay to explore new ideas and try new approaches. You're not locked into anything. It looks like this month is way more fluid and flexible for you. So it can, like with the Wheel of Fortune in the center, you can kind of go in whichever direction you want, but I'm getting experimentation is probably the best thing you can do for yourself. Just try and fail, or try and see where it takes you. Be okay with making attempts that don't work, and that's actually going to help you find your center and get a little bit more grounded. I know it's counterintuitive, but that's, you kind of have to see what doesn't work in addition to what does work in order to figure it out. Card number 3, we have the Page of Cups. Allow yourself to be vulnerable and kind of wear your heart on your sleeve a little bit more than usual, because that authenticity is really going to shine through, and it's going to make you a magnet for the right people, places, relationships, opportunities, all of that good stuff. So stepping away from any of the catastrophic thinking about, oh, well, if I expose myself, then I'm going to get harmed, or I'm going to be hurt. You want to move away from that and try to just give this situation the benefit of the doubt a little bit more. That is not the same thing as being tolerant of bad behavior. So I really want to make that distinction, is that we're not talking about if someone's abusive, you giving them the benefit of the doubt and excusing their behavior. No, no, no. This has to do with not just predicting that things are going to go south because you have previous experiences of that being the case. Thank you so much for joining me today, everybody. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, subscribing, following me on Instagram at Onyx Healing. Don't forget, if you would like to check out the meditations that I offer if you'd like to sharpen your intuition. I have some stuff on that as well. Don't forget to check out the podcast. The link is in the description box. And as always, if you would like to work with me one-on-one, you know that I'm always available to work with you. We can do some healing, some energetic work, all that good stuff. So check that out, and I will talk to you next time. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.